At exactly 3:12 a.m., his phone vibrated. One notification. He almost ignored it. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night, checked your phone, and seen your security app alert you? Not during the day. Not during dinner. Not when you're expecting a package. But at 3 a.m. The hour when most people are asleep. The hour when streets are empty. The hour when, if someone is standing outside your house, they probably shouldn't be there. He opened the live feed. And what he saw didn't make sense. A man, standing at the edge of his driveway. Not knocking. Not moving. Just watching the house. If you're alone right now, and your phone buzzed with a camera alert, would you check it? Or would you pretend you never heard it? Before we begin, if stories like this keep you up at night, subscribe to Midnight Whisper now. Because tonight's footage only gets more disturbing. These aren't urban legends. They're inspired by real security recordings. Real homeowners. Real 3 a.m. notifications. And each one left someone asking the same question. Was the camera protecting them? Or warning them? Let's start with the man who never knocked. Story 1. The man who never knocked. Derek and Alana had only lived in the house for 11 days. It wasn't a mansion. It wasn't remote. It sat on a quiet street outside Fort Worth, Texas. The kind of neighborhood where kids ride bikes until sunset and porch lights flick on one by one like a nightly ritual. They installed their doorbell camera the first weekend. Just in case, Derek had said. Neither of them expected it would become the only reason they felt safe. Night 1. 3:07 a.m. Derek's phone vibrated against the nightstand. He was a light sleeper, always had been. The vibration alone was enough to wake him. He squinted at the screen. At first, he assumed it was a cat, or wind. But something felt off. He tapped the notification. The live feed opened. There was a man standing at the edge of the driveway. Not on the sidewalk. Not near the mailbox. Inside the property line. He stood still. Hands at his sides. Facing the house. Derek adjusted the brightness. The man didn't move. Didn't knock. Didn't approach the door. Just stood there, as if waiting. After 4 minutes, he slowly turned and walked out of frame. That was it. No attempt to enter. No damage. No confrontation. When Derek checked the playback the next morning, Alana said what most people would say. Probably drunk. Wrong house. That explanation worked. For one night. Night 2. 3:09 a.m. Same notification. Same driveway. Same man. This time he was closer. 3 steps closer than the night before. Derek's stomach tightened. He zoomed in. The man's hood was up. His face partly shadowed. But his posture, it was deliberate. He wasn't swaying like someone intoxicated. He wasn't pacing. He wasn't checking doors. He was studying the house. Then something subtle happened. The man tilted his head. Directly toward the camera. And held the gaze. For 6 full seconds. As if he knew exactly where it was mounted. Derek felt heat rush through his body. He muted the live audio. Why? He didn't know. Maybe he didn't want to hear if the man spoke. After 3 minutes, the figure stepped backward, carefully, never turning his back fully to the house. And left again. The next morning, Derek walked the driveway. No footprints. No dropped items. No damage. He called the non-emergency police line anyway. Probably someone checking for unlocked cars, the officer said. Took a brief report. It sounded logical. Suggested installing additional lighting. It also didn't feel right. Let me ask you something. If someone stood in your driveway 2 nights in a row at exactly 3 a.m. and did nothing, would that make it better? Or worse? Because the third night changed everything. Night 3. 3:11 a.m. The alert came earlier this time. Derek's hands were already shaking when he opened the feed. The driveway was empty. For half a second, relief washed over him. Then the camera flickered. The side yard. There was no camera there. Only a partial angle from the front unit that barely caught the fence line. The image showed movement near the narrow space between the garage and the fence. A shape. Too close to the house. Too close to the windows. Alana woke up to Derek whispering her name. She sat upright immediately. They both watched the live feed. The shape shifted. Then stopped. A face appeared briefly in the corner of the frame. Not clear enough for identification. Clear enough to confirm one thing. He wasn't lost. He wasn't drunk. He was exploring blind spots. Derek grabbed the baseball bat from the closet. Alana dialed 911. By the time police arrived, the yard was empty. No forced entry. No broken locks. Nothing stolen. But the responding officer said something that stayed with Derek long after the patrol car left. He's testing you. The couple installed 2 additional cameras the next day. One facing the backyard. One covering the side yard completely. For 2 weeks, nothing happened. No alerts. No sightings. Sleep slowly returned. Until one night. 3:13 a.m. The new camera activated. This time the image was crystal clear. The same man stood near the rear fence. Closer than ever before. No hood. No attempt to hide. Just standing there. Watching the house from behind. Watching the rooms where lights were off. Watching where they slept. Then he did something different. He raised his hand, and pointed directly at the camera. Held it there. As if acknowledging it. As if saying, "I see you too." He left without running. Without panic. Like someone who had accomplished exactly what he came to do. Police searched the area for days after that. Nothing. No arrests. No identity. The man never returned. At least, not on camera. But here's the part that disturbed Derek most. Weeks later, reviewing archived footage out of paranoia, he noticed something subtle from night 1. The man had not randomly chosen his position. He had been standing precisely in the only angle where the camera's motion sensitivity was weakest. Meaning, he had studied the device before that first recorded appearance. Security didn't scare him. It informed him. And that realization changed everything. Derek and Alana eventually moved. Not because of a break-in. Not because of theft.
I know it's frightening.
But because every time their phone buzzed at night, their hearts stopped. And sometimes fear doesn't need action to take control. Sometimes just knowing someone stood outside your home, silently, is enough. Let me ask you something. If that happened to you, would you feel safer installing more cameras? Or would you start wondering who is watching the watchers? Because the next story isn't about someone outside the house. It's about a camera inside. And what it recorded in the hallway at 3:18 a.m., changed a father forever. If you're still here, press like right now. It helps more night watchers find these stories, and trust me, you'll want to stay for this next one. If someone standing outside your house at 3 a.m. unsettles you, what if the movement isn't outside? What if it's inside your hallway? Cameras are supposed to give us control.
It's happening again.
Proof.
What is it? Tell me.
Peace of mind.
We have to go now.
But sometimes, they capture moments we can't explain. And once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. Story 2. The hallway at 3:18 a.m. Martin never believed in ghosts. He believed in locked doors, security systems, motion sensors, data. As a systems analyst in Columbus, Ohio, he trusted what could be measured. That's why he installed an indoor camera facing the hallway outside his daughter Emma's bedroom. Not because he was paranoid. Because 2 weeks earlier, Emma had said something that unsettled him. "Daddy, who was standing in the hallway last night?" Martin had smiled. "Nobody, sweetheart." But she insisted. "He was tall. He didn't come in my room. He just watched. Children imagine things." That's what he told himself. Still, he installed the camera. Just in case. The first recording. 3 nights later. 3:18 a.m. The motion alert came through. Martin frowned. There were no pets. No drafts. No open windows. He opened the live feed. The hallway light was off. Only dim illumination from a nightlight inside Emma's room spilled across the carpet. For several seconds, nothing moved. Then, Emma's bedroom door slowly creaked open. Not wide. Just enough to widen the crack. Martin's chest tightened. He and his wife were both in bed. He was sure of it. The door opened another inch. And stopped. No small footsteps. No shadow crossing the frame. Just the door. Wider than before. Martin got out of bed immediately. Walked down the hallway. Emma was asleep. Door slightly open. He checked the hinges the next morning. No loose screws. No air pressure explanation. Probably didn't latch properly, his wife said. Logical. Reasonable. But the timestamp stayed in his mind. 3:18 a.m. Exactly. The second recording. 2 nights later. 3:18 a.m. Same alert. This time Martin didn't open the live feed. He went straight to recorded playback. He needed to see it clearly. The hallway was still. Door closed. Time ticking at the top of the screen. 3 hours 18 minutes and 7 seconds. 3 hours 18 minutes and 8 seconds. 3 hours 18 minutes and 9 seconds. Then something moved in the far end of the hallway. Near the bathroom. A shadow shifted across the wall. Too tall to be Emma. Too narrow to be his wife. No recorded disruptions in the home system. The missing second remained missing. And the timestamp remained exact. 3:18 a.m. Every time. Martin moved the camera inside Emma's room after that. Nothing happened again. No shadows. No movement. No door activity. But Emma stopped sleeping through the night. She began leaving her bedroom light on. When asked why, she said something that Martin still refuses to repeat fully. Only this part. He doesn't like the camera. If that made your skin crawl, take a breath.